I have a beautiful message for somebody today. Somebody needs to get fired, y'all. Someone in your life needs to get fired. You need to set up a meeting immediately. They need to get fired because they are not able to support you as you elevate. They need to get fired because they do not support your dreams unless they are in your dreams. They need to get fired because they tell you not to trust the divine whispers in your ear from your spiritual team, from your ancestors, from your higher self. They need to be fired because they do not trust you. They need to be fired because they make you doubt yourself, make you doubt your power, make you doubt your own mind. And here's the motherfucking plot twist: the person who needs to be fired is you. It's time for you to have a beautiful and honest meeting with yourself. You need to set an hour aside for you, the same way you would set an hour aside to go tap, tap, tap with somebody, the same way you would set an hour aside to be an unpaid therapist for your friend, the same way you would put an hour aside to go help Tron and them, the same way you put an hour or more aside to show up for your community, your family. I want to invite you to put an hour aside. I'll take 5 minutes if that's all you really believe you have. To have this beautiful meeting and find out which part of you has to go, which part of you is betraying you, which part of you needs to be set free to be delivered so you can move on to your next journey, to your next identity. So we are going to do an internal boardroom. Okay, so let me get my notes here. This is inspired by IFS therapy, by the way, and it's something that I love to do once a year. And actually, my little brother, he's the one that reminded me to do this. And what happens is you set time aside to have a meeting with yourself. You bring in your highest self, you bring in your inner child, you bring in that diva. If you're me, you bring in the little girl from the hood. You also bring in all those parts of your personality you know you have been suppressing. And the goal isn't to spend time judging yourself, right? The goal isn't to spend time upsetting yourself or being too hard on yourself. However, the goal is to heal yourself by honoring your boundaries with yourself. And one way we honor our boundaries with ourselves is by telling the truth, right? So if you can set time aside again to have intimate connections with other people, but you're afraid to sit down with yourself, believe me, you're never going to have the intimate connections you want with other people. If you cannot sit with yourself and talk to yourself in an intimate way without shrinking and hiding, you're not going to be able to be that activist. You're not going to be able to have that generational wealth for your children. The generational wealth is you. So grab your pen and paper. I'm going to tell you how to do this. So here is the goal when you do this by yourself. The number one goal is to clarify who is serving your growth and who does not. Who is afraid of your growth, right? This is the number one thing that's being said to me every time I do my healing through seduction sessions, one-on-one coaching. I'm tired of feeling blocked. I'm tired of sabotaging myself, Pearl. I'm tired of feeling unsupported. And I always say, well, who are you talking about? And it's like my family, the people at work, the people in my community. And then again, when I ask, well, when's the last time you put time in for yourself? That's just for you. Oh, well, I don't have time. Oh, well, I don't really want to think about healing because I don't want to sit with myself. Well, everyone around you is just kind of following your lead. So this is where you get to champion yourself. All right. So here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to take a few moments to set the scene. Now, one thing I love about myself is that my inner child is very activated, right? And I have a beautiful cousin, Cece. She always reminds me, she's like, you have been like this our entire life. And part of what makes me so powerful is I'm not afraid of my own imagination, right? So I'm telling you, when I say set the scene, set the scene, set the scene in your mind, really walk into a boardroom and really see the different versions of yourself. Take it up a notch and really, okay, for 5 minutes even. I'm gonna set the table. We set the table when company is coming. So you're coming to you. Set the table, set the scene, and invite all these different versions of you to this boardroom. Invite your spiritual counsel, right? And then introduce the meeting facilitator, right? This is going to be your conscious self, right? And again, when you're doing this, take your own notes. I highly recommend filming it. So, what I like to do is have a meeting once a week on Zoom. It's just me though, talking to all these different people so that I can keep track. You can also record yourself on your phone. Step two, you're going to invite the different parts of you. You're going to start with that inner child. You're going to say, "What do you need, little one?" And you're going to actually pause. Chances are high your little one needs you to trust your imagination more. Chances are high your little one needs you to play more. A lot of people come to me disconnected from their bodies. They feel numb. They don't know what to do next. And I always remind them, well, you want to start by tapping into that inner child energy. Then we want to ask the shadow to come forward. And you want to remember that you don't need to be afraid of any part of you. And so your shadow just kind of represents any kind of fears or patterns that you're holding on to that you need to let go. But you're not going to be able to release anything that you're afraid of confronting. Then we want to talk to that highest self. That highest self is the version of you living in the 5D, honey. That's the version. She been waiting on you and she's actually tired of your shit. She's like, "Hello, I'm sending angel numbers. I'm removing people out of your life. I'm giving you vivid dreams. Why aren't you listening to me? I'm having Pro Noir go live to talk to you today. Are you going to listen now?" So ask your higher self, what guidance do you have for me? And take it a step further. Don't just ask for the guidance, ask for the willingness to trust the guidance and then execute the guidance. Then we want to talk to that Deva, the future self. What advice would benefit my growth right now? And then, of course, you can talk to the rebel, the nurturer, the mother figure, the sensual one, the star. Okay. Then, step three, give yourself time to actually close your eyes and listen to what they have to say. If you allow yourself to trust your body in this moment, you will actually hear powerful messages. You can also ask your team, your spiritual team, your higher self, whatever it is you believe in, to speak to you, your ancestors, and ask them, what's holding me back? What am I doing? Take accountability for you. Allow yourself not to be the victim in this scenario. A lot of times we get stuck because it's easier to say, "I'm the victim here. This person did this. My family did this." And I'm speaking from experience. The person that everyone is drawn to, I had to do a lot of work to get myself out of the victim mentality, right? Because at a certain point, I wanted to change, and I knew the people who harmed me were not going to change. So I had to change. I had to ask myself, my inner child, my diva, my higher self, what is holding me back? What old patterns am I clinging to? What are my own limiting beliefs? And then we got to fire somebody. For me, the first time I really decided to take my power back, I had to fire the daughter who would accept abuse from her own mother. And let me tell you something, being a Black woman from the South, that was extremely hard to do. I knew I was not going to have the support that I needed from my family. And I'm happy to say that now I do from some of my cousins, but it was very lonely for some years. But I knew that if I wanted the change that I knew I needed in my life to soar, to become the CEO that I am now, to become the six-figure business owner, to become the international burlesque icon, to become someone who received a lifetime achievement award this year. I had to release, I had to tear up this spiritual and karmic contract that I had with my mom. I had to choose myself. I had to get on that plane and put my own mask on to survive. So I said, I can be a beautiful daughter without harming myself. And that changed everything for me. And then I was able to let the little Pearl Noir live her best life and live out loud every time I did a keynote on stage, every time I did a performance on stage, every time I hosted a class, every time I was able to use my own experience to help someone else who needed to break the chains. So that is the last step, having a beautiful, powerful moment to see who needs to be fired. And you know, you don't have to even be sad about it. Because believe me, what I found out every time I've done this, they want to be let go. They are ready to frolic. Okay, they are ready to be on vacation forever. They are ready to retire. These parts of us are just showing up because we have shown them that we can't live without them. We can't live without the fear. We can't live without the blocks. We can't live without the self-sabotage. So that is your healing through seduction assignment. Okay? I want to thank y'all for being here, especially all of my OGs and any family that's watching. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Pearl Noir, and I'm an icon for so many reasons, but mostly because of this work that I'm doing right now. And my company is called Healing Through Seduction. And so if you want to learn more, hit me up. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how this worked for you. You can also go to blackburlesquequeen.com to get some free resources because nothing is happening for you until you start prioritizing your healing journey the same way you will prioritize your job, your education, and sadly, many people prioritize their romantic connections more than their connection with themselves. And that is why you're not living the life that you want to live. Start romancing your damn self. All right, y'all. That is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. Until the next damn time. You are very welcome, Trixie. If this is helpful, also please share this with your people. All right, y'all. Mwah, 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 mwah.